To be honest, these months in my daily routine are not that much different since I've been retired now for 10 years. And so Dwight and I are together. We're pretty much together every day since then. We have been able to see our families safely, going to Southern California because they're all healthy as well. And so not frequently, but we have been able to do that. So that's really awesome. But the most important thing right now is we are healthy and doing fine. We know this isn't all there is. We know that God is always with us. We can call upon Him in prayer. We can be distanced but not separated, through technology. And for us, I think we have the long view. We have God's Word, but I think the world out there, and especially if you watch news over and over, it just keeps hitting you how awful everything is. And so I think the perspective of our faith gives us hope, and maybe just a more positive outlook, because Jesus promises us that. I've continued to do daily devotions, or as daily as I can make it, in the Word, as every day or as many days as we can. And as I said, the Zoom studies, Well Women, my group, it has been a 3-part series about God's time. Perfect. And it's just God in all of it, because I'm sure the author had to write it well before any of this pandemic was about. And so she dealt with the past, present, and future time. And so that has been really wonderful to connect with the other women on the first and third Fridays on Zoom, plug. So everything that this church has been doing technology-wise, we've embraced. Dwight and I have been coming to the communion services, which is lovely. Being able to have communion and see at least this much of people's lovely faces. The faith that I have has continued to grow and develop, and I think it's part of a natural process that I really, really enjoy about making connections and being able to share with other people. When I was in my 35-year education career, I read what I had to, because there was so much of that. Now, in the time I've been retired, and now, especially in this time, I've been able to read what I want to and explore faith and other people's faith and what other people have to say about faith, where before maybe it was just, okay, what's today? Okay, fine, I did that, let's move on. But I see God really working in people, at least with the systemic racism and with the pandemic and what divides us. At least things are coming to the surface, and I'm thinking especially about racism, that maybe things were kind of tucked back here and around the corner, and everybody thinks that, with the veneer, that we're nicey nice, and that has been stripped away. So the honesty is there, and I think God had a hand in that. God had nothing to do with the horrible racism and the shootings and the death, but in the midst of it, I think God is working to transform people's hearts. People who never in 100 years would go out and demonstrate or hold a sign or express how they really feel about caring for others, that's happened. To people who are struggling, I would say there's hope. There's absolutely hope. I've lived 67 years on this earth and have seen a lot of stuff. I mean, I lived through the 60s, the 70s, and on to now, and we've survived all of that. This, I have to say, is the most unique time. And if you're struggling It may take all your strength to let somebody know, but let one person know, at least one person know, because they may not know that you're struggling. You may hide it so well that we don't know. I would also really, really encourage you to seek out Jesus, God's word, a lot of psalms of praise in there, and a lot of hope. Yes, there's despair, and you can read those too and know that other people have been in despair. That doesn't make it any easier, but the hope that I think God's word provides, and that Jesus says nothing can separate us. Romans 8, at the end, nothing can separate us from the love of God. Not death, not pandemics, not racism, not the political situation, not poverty, not anything.